Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Stretford Paddock. I am Alex, and today, good morning. No, you're right. It's 12:25. Steve. It's not morning anymore. Definitely not morning. It would have been morning if we didn't have all the technical difficulties that we'd had in the office this morning. But we are here now. We're here to talk about Manchester United, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been talking this morning ahead of the Chelsea game tomorrow at home. Not that that matters at the minute because no one's in stadiums and all that. But anyway, Manchester United play Chelsea tomorrow at Old Trafford. And a few big talking points from the press conference about team selection because of a couple of headaches that Ole's going to have. Obviously, a very big change, very changed team ahead in the PSG game, and also with suspensions to Anthony Martial. There might be more changes coming at the weekend. Make sure first, get in the comments, let us know what your thoughts of ahead of tomorrow's game, what your predictions are, who you think should be in the starting 11. But going through a couple of quotes that Ole's been saying, he wasn't very happy with the home form, to be honest, overall, and saying that we need to improve that. Let me just get that up for you. Yeah, needs to improve the home form overall. One thing we've been worried about, and look at the way we prepare. Maybe sometimes I've got to deal with it. The whole lockdown period has made us do things differently at home, so we might have to do things in a different way. So Ole there blaming a little bit on the COVID stuff to why the home form is the case. And it's not just Manchester United. I think Tottenham this year have lost all their home games, or at least dropped points in all their home games. City having problems at home. Chelsea as well, not doing too well at home. So he also mentioned Chelsea, last season that football is just settling now and getting into their shape. We know it's going to be a tough game against Chelsea. We played them 5 times last season, maybe 4 or 5 times last year. 2 teams that know each other really well. Yep. So Ole again addressing that. He didn't mention that we beat him 3 out of the 4 times we played them last year, but that is we did. Ole obviously had a great record against the bigger teams all the way through last season, and Chelsea especially beating them home and away in the league, which is something that even Sir Alex Ferguson struggled with all the way through. Chelsea playing at home and away. We never usually came away with 6 points. Maybe even 4 points was a very good season when we played Chelsea, but Ole last year getting 6 points. Going on to the team news for tomorrow. He mentioned Van der Beek a lot. A lot of people kind of unsure of why he's not been playing more games, why he hasn't been starting more games. Didn't play at all. He came on midweek. No, he didn't come on midweek. He didn't play at all midweek. Came on against Newcastle this week. Ollie said, Donny's fit enough, but of course it's competition for places. It's giving him time to settle and adjust to his new teammates. It's a new league. He's absolutely a top footballer and personality, so humble and hard-working, but also, of course, eager to play more. You'll see him throughout the season. It's going to be a long, long season, and he's impressed me. You'll see him. So, yeah, this is one of the things that got criticised from Manchester United towards the end of last season. There wasn't the option to rotate and bring in creative players, especially. I think, players like McTominay, Fred and Matic, we've got a bit of option there in the sort of defensive roles, defensive midfield. But we're really struggling in terms of replacing Bruno Fernandes, and especially Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba. Whereas if you've seen already this season, we didn't play Paul Pogba in the week. He managed to come on and make an impact against Newcastle last week. We rested Paul Pogba again. He came on, him and Van der Beek, and made the difference at the end of the day, which is what we're hoping for all the way through the season. The next point that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came on to was about Mason Greenwood. Talks yesterday that Mason's been late to training and this is why he's not been playing and all these kind of stuff. And Ollie's come out and said that was a lot of rubbish, to be honest. He says, I have to disappoint you. He's never late for training. He's never a problem when he's in training ground. He's always on time. I've seen some stories and some ex-Man United players talking about him and they don't know what they're talking about. Is Greenwood making a target himself? You do when you play well. I'm not concerned at all with Mason making a target for himself. He came in, played fantastic. He made his first start against Tottenham last season, was brilliant, and he kicked on. He then goes on to say he made a mistake for England, and suddenly the English press go after him. And he's bang on there with Mason Greenwood. He obviously made the mistake in Iceland with that, but I think it's been blown completely out of proportion in terms of what has then impacted the new squad and all that kind of stuff. And Ollie's just saying here that it's not affecting Manchester United's game time. The reason he's not playing, he's had a bit of a niggle. He's got a bit of an injury. That's the only reason why he's not been playing. And that Mason Greenwood, to be honest, I'd expect him to be back in the team this weekend. Obviously, with no Anthony Martial, and I think Chelsea are a team that we can have a go at. They've scored a lot of goals this season, but also conceded a lot. And I think if we put a strong front line out and a strong team, I think we can get some goals against them. Talking about strikers as well, there is a possibility of Edinson Cavani making his debut. Ollie mentioned the 3 players coming back into the team. Cavani, Greenwood and Maguire, all available for selection. They've got a training session this morning with the last chance prefer. Cavani needs to tick all the boxes that he's gone through in his programme to be ready and make an impact. I'll have a discussion with him today as well with Mason and Harry. So it's yet to be seen whether Mason Greenwood makes a start, whether Edinson Cavani is fit enough to start for Manchester United. Again, a bit of a strange one with the injury to Anthony Martial. He'd have been probably one of the first names on the team sheet, especially after, even though he got the own goal, a very good performance against Paris in the week. But with him being suspended, the question is, are we going to go to Cavani? Are we going to play 2 again up front and play maybe with Marcus and Mason Greenwood? Are we going to play Marcus and maybe Dan James, which he opted for in the semi-final against Chelsea in the FA Cup last season? It's wait to be seen, but I think he'll go back to 3, and I've got a sneaky feeling that Cavani might get his start tomorrow. One more thing he mentioned this morning, was that there'll be a few players that will be playing for the under-23s. Pellistri, one of them, was on the bench in the week against PSG. Obviously didn't come on, but he's going to play against the under-23s at Everton. Rojo, he's going to play against the under-23s. He's been left out of not only the Champions League squad, but the Premier League squad this week. So there's not much chance, he's not going to get a game in the Premier League this season for Manchester United. So whether he's just keeping his fitness to potentially go out on loan at some point in the season, maybe in January. The other player he mentioned that's going to go and play tonight for the under-23s is Brandon Williams. Obviously, Alex Telles coming in seems to push Brandon Williams way down the pecking order and down to maybe 3rd choice at left back. I expected him maybe to come and be the backup to Wan-Bissaka now that Delos's gone, but again, it looks like Fosu Mensah might even be that backup now. So Brandon Williams going to play some minutes in the under-23s. Let us know what you think to that, because obviously last season, and there's a bit of a Brandon Williams bandwagon in this office about Brandon Williams being our first choice left back, and everyone can agree that Luke Shaw has stepped up a little bit. Luke Shaw definitely looks good at the left centre half position, but what do you think? Do you think Brandon Williams should be in and around that first team squad still? I definitely think so. I definitely think he's a good option at right back, and I think that's something that Manchester United will have to look at if Wan-Bissaka needs any time to rest. Right, let's have a look at some of your comments this morning. Let me have a look. Harry Maguire should be licking his lips when he has that guy to hit a piece bang on. That's from Ross Murphy. I agree. I think that Telles coming in as well shows that we've got a little bit more quality in from our set piece and from our corners. Yet to be seen whether Telles can play in a 4 or whether he's been brought in to play when we do go to 3 at the back. Also, playing Telles against Chelsea, I'm not too sure. He might go back to the 4 at the back. If he sticks to the 3 at the back, I see Telles starting. But if he goes to the 4 at the back, I don't think he gets in ahead of Luke Shaw just for his defensive abilities. Obviously, on Tuesday night against Paris, we showed a lot of quality there. Ross also said, "Can you believe that the guy pocketed Mbappe as a world record fee competing in the game? Hungry Hippo was the fastest. Axel Tuanzebe, top performance. Tuanzebe is obviously." Ollie mentioned in his press conference this morning saying how good he was. It's an odd one whether he'll be in the team or not. I think that Lindelof had a very good game against PSG. Seems to come back into the team. Eric Bailly obviously out injured as well now. So it's yet to be seen whether Harry Maguire walks straight back into that team. I'd like to see Maguire and Tuanzebe. I think that is probably when both fit, our strongest pairing. I think that Lindelof still struggles with people in the air. So we'll see. We will see how that goes. Let's have a look more at the comments. People saying 4-2-3-1 again, I guess. I'm I'm not too sure. I think Ollie likes that three at the back system. I think that's one of the reasons why he was pushing so much for a left wing back to come in, and that's why we got Tellez. So we'll see about that. I think that he may stick with his three at the back for the next run of fixtures. You know, we've got 4 very good footballing teams. Let's say the next few weeks. We've obviously played Paris, then go to Chelsea. We then go to RB Leipzig on Wednesday night, and then we have Arsenal next weekend. So I think three at the back might not be the worst thing to do, and stick with that all the way through that time. It's whether or not we can play Harry Maguire and things like that. Got another comment from Anish Josh. He's saying, don't think Tuanzebe can start 2 games in 4 days after such a long injury. Yeah, but you'd have thought he wouldn't be able to pocket the most expensive forwards in world football, but he did. He did on Tuesday night. So I don't know. I think that I'd like to see Tuanzebe back in the team, because I think he's everything that we've been lacking in a centre half. He's got the pace, he's got the physicality, and he just was, so calm on the ball all the way through. And I think that he is, when fit, up there one of our best centre halves. Make sure, if you're not already, make sure you're liking the video. Another comment saying 3-5-2 without Maguire. 3-5-2 looks like a smart formation for the upcoming games against tough sides or informed sides at the very least. 5-3-2 with Fred, Donny and Bruno in midfield. I think if he goes through at the back, I think he sticks with McTominay and Fred in there. I think they did a good job together. I don't think he'd go too far forward and push on that. I think he'll stick with that. Is Greenwood starting? One of the questions. Mason Greenwood confirmed that he's back fit and has a chance to play this weekend. Again, if he sticks with a 3-5-2, I could see him starting with Rashford and Greenwood as the 2 up front. I think if he goes back to the 3, I think that potentially Greenwood comes in, maybe Dan James plays on the right-hand side, and I think that would mean that Cavani would start as the centre forward. One more comment. I think Tuanzebe doesn't care about playing 2 games in 4 days. The boy's shown he can play, and he wants to play, and he puts a shift in for the team. He's not played since December. He's not played... And maybe this is the cure to the world. Tuanzebe comes back in, when he was playing football, there was no COVID and all that. So when Tuanzebe comes back in, hopefully all is good in the world. That is all from me this morning. Thank you for joining us, looking at Ollie's press conference this morning. We've got loads coming up for you today. We've got House of McCall Uncensored coming out. What time, Cameron? 4 o'clock we'll have House of McCall Uncensored. Also, we have Late Night Live tonight with Joe Smith, as always, on a Friday. Then tomorrow, we've got all the build-up to the game. So we'll be here for all the way through. We're going to watch along all the way through, aren't we, tomorrow?
Oh, yeah,
From 4 o'clock tomorrow, we're going through all the way through till the end of the game. So 4 o'clock tomorrow, make sure you're joining. We've got Stephen Howson on there. We'll have Jay Motti. We'll have Joe Smith. We'll have myself. Ronaldo might be here. Who knows? Right, speak to you tomorrow. Cheers, guys. Make sure you're liking. Make sure you're subscribing. I'll see you next time.